Oh man, the Culling 2. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard about how big of a disaster this game is. Nobody's playing it on the PC. Well, I decided to take it for a spin on Xbox because I haven't really seen anybody talk about how well the game is performing on the system and if anybody's actually playing it. So, strap it down. We're going to talk about the Culling 2 in this Rand's Indie Spotlight. What's going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Now, the Culling 2 was a complete disaster at launch on the PC. In fact, if you go to the Steam charts right now, 20 minutes ago only, 2 people were playing this 50-person Battle Royale game with a 24-hour peak of 3, an all-time peak of 249. That is, you really can't even find words for it. A catastrophic launch, a complete disaster. It's a 50-person Battle Royale game with only 2 people playing it. It's terrible. So I got on the Xbox version, wanted to check it out. And you know what? Everybody who's been saying very negative things about this game, they're 100% right. This game is a bad title. It is a cash grab trying to kind of, jump on the success of PUBG and Fortnite. And even worse than that, the fans of the Culling 1 have been completely abandoned here because at least Culling 1, the original, had a unique aspects. It was a 12-person Battle Royale game with a heavy focus on melee. The Culling 2 is just basically a PUBG or an H1 clone. It reminds me a lot of H1Z1 on the PlayStation 4. When you aim, you go down to first-person sights, which you do in that game. But the rest of it is very much, like PUBG. And why am I showing this lobby screen? Well, because this is what you're going to be looking at and doing most of the time you are playing this game if you have the unfortunate, if you are dumb enough, like myself, to actually decide to play the game and spend your $20 on it. Because this game isn't a free-to-play title. This is a $20 game. And you can see here, we're in the lobby. We're trying to play a squad game, me and my buddy Magic and Gopher. And there's only 7 people in the lobby, which means there's only actually 4 other people besides me, Magic, and Gopher. And you just sit here in the lobby waiting, and waiting, because it's supposed to be 50 players. But it never gets up to 50 players. So you sit here waiting until the game actually decides to start. So, I've played a few games of this. It's a bad game. The inventory system is just unintuitive. The aiming just throws me completely off. It's not fun to use. It's not fun to fight other players like it is in PUBG or Fortnite or even Darwin Project. The game looks terrible. I mean, look at this stuff. Look at the textures. This game looks horrid on the Xbox One. There's no redeemable qualities about this game whatsoever. So, if you're actually looking to try to review this title, I'm sitting at a 3 or 4 out of 10. It's a bad video game. But the bigger issue, outside of it being a bad game, is that you can't even do what the game says you are supposed to be able to do. You're supposed to drop into a spot and just try to survive. But most of the time, you're just looking at this lobby screen. And when you actually start up a game, when you actually wait the 5 minutes to get through the lobby, and you're like, oh, finally, I can drop in. But you won't see anybody. You'll just be looting buildings, and the looting is very awkward in this game. Opening doors is pretty fast, unlike in PUBG, but the looting is very slow. I'm sitting there trying to figure out where everything is, and trying to put things on your weapons it's a horrible experience. But the experience is just running around waiting for a game to start, and then running around looting, hoping to see somebody, but you never do, because there's only 10 people in the lobby. And when you finally do see somebody, it's after 10 minutes of letting the gas come down, shrinking the circle. So you're in the final circle, and then finally, after 12 minutes of running around just waiting, you finally see somebody, and then you more than likely die, because the hit detection in this game is pretty bad. It's a bad game. It's a complete and utter disaster. If it actually had 50 people to play against in each game, I would just say, you know what? It's a bad game. It's not worth your money. Maybe check it out if it ever goes free. It's a 4 out of 10. But the fact of the matter is, you don't even get that. You wait around in lobbies. You sit here, and we were just like, is this game ever going to start? I mean, come on. And I would love to show actual footage of me actually killing people, which I did, but it's so far, it just never happens that I'm trying to give you a sense of what you're actually going to get by spending your $20 on this game. And what you're going to get is 5 minutes around fiddling with these guns at these tables in this lobby screen. And that's it. That's all you're going to be doing. This is going to be the Culling 2 experience on consoles. Waiting in the lobby, screwing around with weapons, running around doing emotes until the game finally starts. And then you can run around some more until hoping you find somebody 10 minutes later in the final circle. I've never seen a game launch like this ever. And this maybe is a problem with Battle Royale in general if you don't have a huge player base. These games need tons of players so you can have fun fighting in a game and then get into a next one without having to wait so long. But the Culling 2 doesn't have a fan base, doesn't have anybody playing it. So once you finish up one game, you're back waiting into the lobby. And I played solo, duo, and squad. And there are different servers, North American East, North American West, EU, Japan. So depending on what server you get, you could have more players and you could have less. But I've never seen it get over 20. In my 2 solo games I played, it was 20 and it was 15. In the duo game we played, it was 12. And in the squad game we played, it was only 10. And that's including 3 of us. So it was only 7 people. The map is fairly big, but the game looks like garbage. And it runs well. The frame rate is more noticeably better than, say, PUBG, but it's not doing much here. The visuals are nothing to talk about. And there's nobody playing the game, so they don't got to really keep track of anything going on. Other than that, there's nothing noteworthy that this game does. It is a quick cash grab by a developer who clearly is going to face some major backlash from changing a cult classic Culling 1 into basically just a clone of a more popular game. And, I played this on a Friday night, first week of the release. I thought possibly we could get some big games going on. And we only had 10 people. We only had 15 people. So, God, I mean, giving it a rating is tough because on the surface level, the game's a horrible game. Nobody should play it just based on that. It's a 3 or a 4. There are better Battle Royale games in the genre. And then you put on top of it the fact that nobody's playing this game. Nobody at all. The lobbies are empty. The games go on, and you won't see anybody until the final circle. In fact, what you're going to be doing most of the time is just sitting in that stupid lobby, hearing that stupid dude talk about the Culling 2. That's going to be your experience. And you know what? Maybe if it was free to play, you could forgive some of it. But it's not. They want $20 for this game. $20. You know what? They should be paying us to play this game. It's not worth your money whatsoever. So completely stay away from it. And you know what? I played it so you guys don't have to. So, the morbid curiosity took the best of me. I wanted to see how, couldn't have been this bad, right? I mean, you hear about it from everybody, like, oh, the Culling 2 is a trash. Nobody's playing it. People have to be playing it on Xbox. And yeah, there are more people playing on Xbox, but not by much. This game is going to be dead in a week. Unless, of course, they turn it free to play, which maybe they will. But it's already dead. It's dead on PC. It's semi-alive and kicking on console. But still, you're not going to get any enjoyment out of this title. I sure as hell didn't. And as soon as we were done here, we went back to play an actual good Battle Royale game, PUBG, which actually has 100 players in the game. And you can actually get some quality firefights in before you get to the final circle, where the time you spend in the lobby is just a minute long or 20 seconds long, not 5 minutes. Guys, I almost feel like PlayStation and Xbox should be embarrassed in offering refunds to anybody who bought this game on console. There needs to be some sort of quality control for releasing garbage like this. And that's what this game is. It's garbage. It's just unadulterated garbage. It's a very, very, very bad video game that nobody is playing. And you should all stay far, far away from the Culling 2, because it is a complete and utter disaster of the likes I haven't seen in gaming ever, maybe. You thought Lawbreakers launch was bad and what went on with that game? Well, this game was like, hey, hold my beer, Lawbreakers. We're here, the Culling 2. Stay away from this trash, guys. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money. And it won't be, even if it goes free to play. Well, that's the review, or whatever you want to call it, for this Culling 2 experience. I'll never get my time back, but hey, I do it for you guys. Let me know what you think about the title. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Hit the notification bell. I always want to be notified when I drop new content. Hit the sub button if you want to subscribe to the channel. It would help me out tremendously. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.